Hello and welcome. All right, those of you guys who are on Facebook, let me know that you're here. I'm streaming live. If you're watching from YouTube, you can also let me know that you're here. I will read those comments and respond later. I'm going to give a few moments for you guys to come into the room. Yay, I see Kaylee is here already. She is ready. I see Lucy is here. Hello, hello. I'm curious, those of you guys who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, what's your preferred platform? Please type it in. I'm kind of leaning towards Instagram. Like, I'm just going to say it. I'm kind of leaning towards Instagram. So let me know if you prefer watching me on Instagram. Oh, hey, Jody's here. Okay, awesome. All right. So first of all, this is all about, okay, Kaylee is ready. She's got her notebook. She's ready to go. Today might be a little bit longer too. I want to let you know I'm going to go slower. I'm kind of in a really grounded energy. Sunday is a spiritual day for me. So I really wanted to give you a lot of value today and do it in a slower way where you can really follow along. Okay. Okay. Jody says either platform. I also want to crown myself queen today. And if you're watching, kings and queens, you all are. You are all conquering your life right now in this moment. So this is my symbolism of being a conqueror right now in this moment, okay? And I have this for a reason, and I'm going to teach you this so that when you walk away from this training, you feel like you are an actual conqueror in your life, okay? So let's first recap why I'm here, what we're even doing here in case some of you are joining in. This is day 3 of the Recreate You Challenge. And we are talking about conquering today, but if you're just joining now, make sure you go back and watch day 1, which was all about really creating that vision. And then watch day 2, which was about building your belief so that we can now conquer. Okay, I see somebody joining in that says Facebook user who just said hello with a little hand. Make sure you click the link that says StreamYard so that you can allow your information to be used so I can see who you are because I'm not really sure. And I see Holly is joining us here today as well. All right, so first, let me say this. Let me review and recap. If you are in it to win it and you are wanting to win up to $3,000 worth of prizes, let me recap what I gave away on day 1 and day 2. On day 1, I gave away 2 tickets to the virtual vision board workshop, which happened yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. I know all of you that attended, I know you're stepping into feeling and believing in your vision for this year. And then yesterday, I gave away the Love and Money Manifestation Plan, which is my email plan that emails you every day for 21 days, giving you a specific practice for manifesting love, self-love, and abundance, actually financially and monetarily. Okay, so I gave away 2 of those yesterday. Today, I'm going to give away a prize as well. I'll let you know by the end of this daily prize. In order for you to win the daily prize, you must be present and you must be participating. So I see that there are a few of you on Facebook. I see a few of you on Instagram. So that's all you need to do is participate in order to win. And then on Monday, okay, because I'm going to give you guys all the time, especially those who are watching the replay or maybe catching this late. I realize this is a weekend. I don't normally work on Sundays. Sundays is usually my day of rest. So I understand this may be a day of rest for many people and they may not be online, which I totally respect. So I'm going to give everybody until Monday to complete their homework, which is, let me just go to my notes so I say everything in a really concise way. All right, so if you want to have a chance to win the grand prize, which will be announced on Monday, this is what you do. Make sure that you register for this challenge. So just because you're tuning in live doesn't necessarily mean you're registered yet. Make sure you go to the link in my bio or cammykennedy.com/links and register for the Recreate You Challenge. That way, you're going to get all the information and all the replays via the email. You're also going to get some bonuses as well. All right, number 2, participate daily by commenting live or commenting replay if you're watching the replay. Number 3, I see a lot of you have been tagging me and posting me in your daily takeaways. It's been phenomenal. And that is how you enter to win the grand prize that will be announced on Monday. So you're going to use hashtag day 3 and hashtag Recreate You Challenge. And you're going to tag me at Cammy Kennedy on Facebook or on Instagram. Okay, and then just make sure your profile, I can see your profile, make sure it's public. Okay. Somebody is asking me on Facebook, where is StreamYard? So if you're tuning in on Facebook, there should be a link that says allow access to StreamYard right in this platform. If not, just type in your name so that I know it's you, and then that way I can refer to you by name. Kaylee says, I way prefer IG. Okay, cool. Me too, Kaylee. So this is kind of confirming what I've been feeling, is that I might start hopping on IG for these lives a little bit more. All right, so let's dive into conquering. And I want to let you know where I got the word conquer, and where I got this idea of already being a conqueror. There is a scripture in the Bible that says we are more than conquerors right now, today, not tomorrow, not when you lose the weight, not when you start the business, not when you make your first $1,000 in your business, not when you leave that job, not when you leave that relationship. You are already a conqueror right now. Doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't matter your religious background. But I find that to be a universal truth. If we claim ourselves as the conqueror right now, then we can ask ourselves, what would conqueror Cami do? What would confident Holly do? What would like badass Bridget do, right? Just depending on what your word is. But all of us, I think, can connect with this word conquer. And I'm actually wearing my crown today to let you know, this is kind of one of the things we're going to do to start off this session today, is stepping into our potential self, right? Okay, Joan, good, awesome. I know that it's you now, Joan. Thank you for letting me know by typing your name in. So I want you now to actually envision the things that you desire, right? If you've been here since day one, and then you've created this vision, you've tapped into the beliefs, maybe some limiting beliefs that you have, and you're working on really building up those beliefs over time. But today is all about conquering your plan. And what happens is, if we get stuck in confusion, if we get stuck in feeling like we're not good enough, if we get stuck in our past on what didn't work for us, we get stuck on getting fired, having a business that failed, having a marriage that failed, having your children that you're not able to control, and they're going in a different direction than you expected. If you identify with those things that have happened in the past, then you're not in the energy of conqueror. You may be in the energy of victim. You may be in the energy of things are happening to me. Regardless, if you're not in the energy of conqueror, of courage, of willingness, then you will feel paralyzed. You will feel like you can't take a step forward. And that's exactly what I do. Is I help people. I really help perfectionists, or people who are highly self-judgmental, step forward and start to practice their quantum potential. And if you're not familiar with quantum potential, that is essentially saying there's an infinite amount of potential realities that could happen right now at this moment. But the reason that our life looks the way that it does is because we are identifying with one reality. Usually it's the reality of our past. It's the reality of our stories. It's the reality of beliefs that other people have told us about ourselves or about life. And in order for us to create a new reality and to conquer our present so that we're creating a new reality in the future, we must tap into the quantum potential of infinite potential possibilities that could happen. And we did that on day one, but I want you to always be doing this. When I show up for this call today, I don't look at the people who are tuning in live. I see 4 people on Facebook. I see 2 people on Instagram. I'm not looking at just the 6 people, because I know in the quantum reality, my energy is coming across the waves, right? It's being transmitted and transmuted to potentially millions of people across the globe. So when I show up in my potential self, in that energy of the queen energy, and I'll share my potential self with you in a little bit. When I show up in that energy, I show up as if I'm already speaking to thousands, millions of people who are going to hear this message. So I'm not looking at the present reality of the 6 people in the room. I'm looking at how this is going to reach thousands energetically over time. And when I show up in that energy, that is the reality that is created. And I want you to think of it this way. Anybody who's ever given a presentation, if you have one person in the room, you might feel awkward. You might feel weird. You might feel like you're talking to one person. But if you can envision yourself talking to more people, influencing more people, you're going to show up in a different energy. Another way to say this, let's say you run a business and you are seeking more clients or you're seeking more buyers for your product. And if you're showing up from an energy of, please buy my things, nobody has bought my thing yet, it's the first time I'm putting my thing out into the world, you're showing up in this energy of insecurity, of insufficiency, of low vibration, of self-doubt, of maybe this isn't going to work, instead of showing up in the energy of certainty, which is, I know I can help someone. I know my product is amazing and beautiful. I know I enjoy my product, and I know there are others out there that will too. And I know with the consistency of showing up, presenting my product, presenting my service, posting on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, however you run your business, when you show up consistently in the energy of already having the 10 clients, of already sold 20 of your item, you show up in the energy of certainty, and people are attracted to that energy. Okay? Give me some hearts or some thumbs up on Facebook if this is resonating with you. Yes, Lucy says that's why you're wearing that amazing crown. Yes. And I also want you to notice the energy that you show up in. So for today, just to be fully honest, I woke up this morning, it's Sunday, I chilled, I watched some Dog Whisperer, which is one of my favorite things to watch on Sundays. I allow myself to kind of watch some TV in the morning. I took my dogs out on a walk. I energetically prepared for this training today. But 30 minutes ago, I was in sweatpants. I didn't have makeup on. I hadn't washed my face yet. And I actually asked myself, what energy do I want to show up in? And when I came from, walking the dogs in my duck boots out in the mud, I was like, I really want to show up in Carmen Queen energy. And that is my potential self. That is the identity that I've created for myself. And I'm showing up in that energy today with the earrings, with the off the shoulder, right? I'm not even wearing sweatpants, right? I actually put real pants on today, with the crown, with the makeup done, because that puts me in the energy and the vibration of Carmen Queen, which I've created. And she has a whole backstory, and she has her values. She has what's important to her. She has how she shows up in the world. I have another client whose vision is to make 350K. So we always ask, okay, what would 350K so-and-so do? What decision would he make? What investments would he make? What would the finances look like? So that when you show up in the energy of what you desire, you start to make different decisions. And you're making the decisions from your potential instead of from your current reality. Okay, good. Yes, Joan says, you are speaking to me. Jody's giving me some hearts. Good. On Instagram, I put makeup on to go in the garage and pour my resin. Yes, so good, Kaylee. It makes a difference. And if you've ever watched Marie Kondo, she has a Netflix show, and she obviously has a book, I think it's called The Magic Power of Tidying Up, which I listened to several years ago. And I started taking that into account with my energy, the way I fold things. But she says, when you clean your house, clean it respectfully, show up in a nice outfit, and actually treat your things with this energy of appreciation. Because not only does that make your current things feel good, right? Everything carries a vibration. And if you're looking at the old broken thing and it's making you unhappy, you're walking around in that vibration and in that identity and energy all day long. Okay, good. Lucy says, I love that, showing up in the energy that you desire. I like doing that too. Yeah. And for females, we can do it with the makeup and the clothing, but for men, you guys can do it too. You can wear the backwards hat or the leather jacket or the nice clean shoes that you keep in the box. So this isn't just a thing that females do, right? You can step into that energy at any time. Also, you can use kind of like a talisman or a symbol, like maybe you have a necklace or a pair of earrings or a ring or a watch that you put on. I have, a lot of times when I teach, I'll use a crystal and I'll actually hold on to it. And that provides me with the grounding energy and the energy of trust. So this is one of the crystals that I use a lot of. Usually when I'm teaching, I'm holding a crystal. If you didn't know, it's usually in my lap. And that helps to ground my energy. And what it does for me, it allows the messages to flow through me from God, from spirit, from inspiration, instead of me trying to figure out a way to say all the things that are going to resonate with you. I trust and believe and know when you're in my energy, the words that I'm saying are carrying this transmutation, transformational vibration that's going to spark something in you that is going to change your life. And I've seen it on my free challenges. I've seen it with my clients when I'm on a paid coaching call with them. The things that I say resonates with your inner self, your higher self, your potential self, and your potential self is in there listening, going, yes, I want more of this. I'm committed to taking action in the energy of my potential. I'm committed to showing up. I'm committed to investing. I'm committed to being uncomfortable, feeling uncomfortable in the energy. Yes, Jody says, I'm feeling drawn to your energy. Yes, thank you, Jody. All right, let me tell you a couple stories because I think it's helpful to understand this. So Carmen Queen, the name Carmen came to me when I was in Bali, and some of you have heard my story. In 2018, that was my transformational year. That's when I left a 9-year relationship. That's when I stepped down from a job I didn't like at the end of 2017 into 2018. That's when I was fully just trusting God, like, okay, God, I see that you want something different for me because of the circumstances, so I'm willing to trust you. So I went on a mission trip to Costa Rica. Then I said yes to going to Bali on a 4-day transformational retreat with 3 male coaches. And I said yes when I didn't know where the $4,000 was coming from. What I knew was I needed to do this. What I knew was everything I had been desiring and talking about for years, which was going to Bali, which is attracting a partner that loved me, which was being able to transition my business from fitness coaching to life coaching, which was scaling my business so that I could only, I could just solely have my business and not need to work part-time. One other part of my vision was getting married, of attracting a partner that was good to me, which I am now married. I got married in 2020. All of this, my vision, is what propelled me to trust myself to say yes and commit to going to Bali before I figured out where the money was going to come from. And I trusted that through my belief, through me showing up in my potential, through me saying yes, that things would be created and provided, and I would become resourceful and I would figure out a way. And guess what? Within 10 days, I created $4,000. That was more than I'd ever manifested in my entire life in that short of a time. And it came from unlikely places. I submitted some insurance documents for my dog. My mom ended up finding like $1,000 in bonds from when I was a baby. I got some new clients, and all of it came together. So I'm telling you this, when you commit and you're fully committed in the energy of who you're becoming, things show up, right? A lot of you guys have just joined this because you just were seeking something and all of a sudden this challenge popped up for you. And I believe this is why I committed, right, to doing this on a weekend, because I felt like people needed it this weekend specifically, right? I just felt aligned to that and I trusted that. Kaylee says, I'm excited with what all of this has already done for my husband and I moving forward with our business. The air has changed. Oh, I love that. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. Okay. So that is my story of committing from the energy of my potential self, of my future self. Now, let me get to the uncomfortableness, right? All of that was uncomfortable. All of that made me excited, but also was triggering my ego. And my ego was asking, like, what's going to happen? What are you going to do? Where's the money going to come from? How are all these things going to happen? But my higher self, my potential self that's calling me forward, that is also calling you forward, is always resourceful and always finds a way. So I got on the plane, went to Bali. I went with 3 male coaches that scared the crap out of me. They scared me because they were successful, they were attractive, they were well-spoken. They were all the things that I was desiring in a partner. And I needed to get comfortable in the energy of that if I was going to become an energetic match to it. So I went there, I was uncomfortable. I went there with 35 people. I went by myself on a plane, which that's not too uncomfortable. That's exciting for me. I've been doing that since I was a kid. But and I met up with 35 people who became beautiful friends, still friends to this day. But here's the moment where it got real, where it got real. I went there because I wanted business coaching. I wanted business training. I wanted them to tell me the marketing, to tell me the strategy. What are the ways that I can transition my business? And day one, we did intimacy exercises. And if you've never experienced a retreat or some intense high-level coaching, I'll tell you it's uncomfortable. But my commitment was I wanted to change my life so much. I wanted a different reality. I was looking behind. I was seeing that the things I had created wasn't working. That wasn't what I wanted. And I had to take responsibility for it, invest in a coach, in a program, in a partnership that was going to give me the tools that I needed in order to transform my life. So I get there, day one, all excited to learn the marketing strategies, all the thing. I'm ready to take notes because I'm the front row. I'm a straight A student. I want to learn all the things. And we stood at a circle and we did this intimacy exercise. And we stared into each other's eyes without speaking for 3 to 5 minutes, which felt like an eternity. And we stood there looking. And because me and all of us do this, we're typically wearing a mask. We're wearing a mask of who we want people to see us as. I want people to see me as successful. I want them to see me as positive. I want them to see me as perfect. I want them to see me as a fit person or a healthy person. And in that moment where we just looked into each other's eyes, it was so uncomfortable. My palms were sweating. My body was shaking. I could just look in their eyes. I would look at their face. And I was smiling in the beginning because I thought I still needed to wear this mask. And then we moved to the next person and I experienced a different energy. And I'd move to the next person, which what felt like forever. And I got to this male. He was an attractive male. He was a leader in the group. And I was looking into his eyes and I realized I had been with my then boyfriend, who was a narcissist, which means I was a codependent. And I realized in this moment, as I'm looking in this man's eyes, that I had never experienced true intimacy with anyone. I let myself be in this long distance relationship because I didn't want to be seen. And in that moment where I'm looking in his eyes, I'm thinking, wow, I've never actually let a man or anyone see me for truly who I am. When I'm crying, when I'm feeling not good enough, when I'm feeling exposed and vulnerable. And it felt so uncomfortable. And even now, as I'm revisiting that, I felt like throwing up. Ugh, it was like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. It's uncomfortable. Ugh. But I knew that that was the path to my potential, to having what I wanted, to having the relationship and the business and the life that I desired. So I was willing to do anything. And what I want to tell you guys today is if you feel like throwing up, keep going. Follow that feeling. Keep going, take a step forward. That is the path that you are drawn to for a reason. If you want your life to be different, you must continue to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, to go, oh, yep, there it is. The feeling of throwing up, the feeling of feeling so vulnerable, so exposed. And when you get vulnerable with yourself, when you get intimate with yourself, intimacy is into me I see. Fully loving, full accepting all of you. The little scared little girl part, the little boy who just wants to be loved. Maybe not the strong parts of you, but the weak parts of you. When you experience that and you love yourself now in the moment with who you are and what you have, then you can powerfully create and conquer the plan. Even if you don't fully know the plan yet, your higher self knows. So you can surrender to your potential and go, I know. The next thing is I need to make this Facebook post, or I need to have this conversation with my boss, or I need to address and have this courageous conversation with my partner. Whatever it is, your higher self knows, but the scared self in us, the one that feels like throwing up, wants to hide. But I'm going to ask you, are you willing to sit in the discomfort in order to have the life that you desire? If the answer is yes, make that commitment today and write that down. Because when you're not feeling it, when you're feeling scared, when you're feeling small, you got to remember your commitment from the energy of your potential self. So I'd like you today to experiment and practice with coming up with a name of your potential self. Mine came to me on a rooftop in Bali when I was doing yoga under the moon, which we don't have that right now. But I want you to just tap into what name or what energy feels really powerful to you, feels really strong, feels encouraging to you. It could be Wonder Woman, it could be Thor, it could be a mythical energy, it could be just a name that maybe you've always admired and liked. But I want you to choose the energy, or you can just say this. Like, let's say you want to make 100K. You can go, okay, 100K, Holly, what would she do? Or let's just say you want to be confident. Okay, what would confident Jody do? So you don't always have to name it something else, but I like to. I like to name it something else so that you can start to realize this is a different energy. It's going to require me to step up in ways that I haven't before. It's going to require me to commit in ways that I haven't before. And that's actually why I'm here today on a Sunday, or I chose to do this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And to be honest, like, of course, it'd be easier for all of us just to hang out in our pajamas all day on a Sunday. We don't have to show up and do this. I don't, you don't. But it's because we're committed to our mission, our vision, our values. And one of my top values and what I'm going to be teaching inside my program for the next 8 weeks is really defining your values and living in them. And today, showing up is my value. It's been my value for the past 3 years. Yes. Archer Lucy, focus on my arrow of potential. Ooh, Lucy, I love that. And I love kind of like Archer it's a descriptor, but it's also kind of a cool name. Like maybe Lucy Archer is your last name. And what's really cool is my coach, although she already had a successful business, she was going through some challenges personally. She left a relationship and she changed her name, and she made part of her name Faith. She changed her name, actually even changed it on Facebook. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter how well established you are. If you want to change it, change your name, change your identity, and then tap into it each and every day. Okay, so I want you guys to type in the chat if you're coming up with some names, type them in, and we're going to do a quick transition here into more of the practical piece of the conquering piece. So I'm going to give you some structures. I'm going to give you some formats that you can use that are going to be helpful for you moving forward. But again, I want to remind you, this is like a 45-minute, 50-minute call. We dive so much deeper into this inside of my program, Create, Believe, Conquer. It is starting next week. It's 8 weeks. This program is a group program, so it is for women only. But men, if you are listening, I do one-on-ones as well. So you could coach with me one-on-one. But I want to talk about this 8 weeks and how powerful it will be for you. What you're starting now in this 3-day challenge is you stepping into that vision, starting to step into potential and possibility. And with a coach and with a community of accountability over the next 8 weeks, you're going to take aligned action consistently so that you're going to slingshot forward, or you're going to shoot your arrow forward faster than you would on your own. So I want to invite you. Today is the last day to get $200 off of that program. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can send me a message or head to my website. You've heard of it, CamiKennedy.com/links. Check out the info there. I also have a payment plan for you guys. But I just want to let you know how powerful this is. This is how I was able to slingshot forward, is continuously investing in coaches, is continually showing up and being held accountable, and always having somebody that was further along than me who was able to coach and mentor me and hold energetic space and belief. I believe in each and every one of you. You can borrow my belief through the whole program until you start to build your own belief, right? That is why I do what I do, because there are powerful people in my life who showed up, who mentored me when I needed it. And now this is my mission. My mission is to help you transform your mindset and transform your life. So I'm going to give you some tools today, but I want you to know it's a lot more powerful when you get in a community, you have a skilled coach to guide you, and you have the accountability each and every day to show up in your potential. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 tools right now, and you guys can keep typing in the chat your future self name or your potential self name. First tool, if you guys don't like snakes, I'm going to give you a warning to turn your head because I'm going to show my planner. My planner has a snake on it, okay? I know some people are super afraid. So this is one of my favorite planners. I'm not endorsed by them. I'm not an affiliate for them. I probably should be because I always talk about them. But this is Passion Planner. And I really love the snake energy and the snake vibe. I actually am a person who loves reptiles. When I was a kid, like I was total tomboy, and I would go around and catch snakes in buckets, like garter snakes, and I would feed them little grasshoppers, and I just loved them. And I think the reason I love them is because they also are an energy thing. If you're afraid of them, they'll react and they'll kind of, they'll lash out at you. But if you have this calm, like loving energy, they love it. They love to be on your skin. They love to be held because they like the warmth of your body. They're cool with your vibes if you got good vibes. So I know I'm drawn to so many animals because they can feel your vibe. All right. So, and then the snake, the serpent is all about, kind of like spring and rising back up. So this is their special edition planner. So what I like to do inside of my planner, first thing that's really cool about this one, which you can actually go to passionplanner.com and you can get this little handout. This is your 1 year, your 3 year, your 5 year vision, your lifetime vision. I also teach a 10-year vision, but you can write that in the beginning of the planner. And it's really helpful because when you have that vision, then you start to take action based on what it is that you want to create. So I love this part of it. Now, the next part, and obviously this is a blank planner because I just started it, but I took this course years ago with the author of The Have It All Woman, Susan Sly, and she taught me calendar blocking based off of what your priorities are, right? So if you're wanting to create, more income in your business, if you're wanting to create more intimacy in your relationship, if you're wanting to create a better relationship with your kids, if you're wanting to lose weight, any of these things, your calendar must reflect your priorities, right? So if you're watching Netflix for 5 hours at night and you're not working out or you're not walking, then that's reflecting that your priority of health, your value of health, is not really serious in your calendar. So here is what the other thing I like about this is it is broken down into 30-minute sections so you can actually block off. And again, we're going to be diving deeper into this specifically when we do this in my program. But here is what you can do. You get highlighters for every category of your life, right? And then you put a sticker on here that represents what that's going to be. So this is workout, right? IPAs. This is called income producing activities. For those of us who run a business, we can get caught up in making a design in Canva, which is actually not an income producing activity. We want to outsource those type of things. I'm going to talk to you about this in a second. This is called Loop List. That's going to be the second thing. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. This is church. So when I'm watching church online, right, before I used to go, this is spirit. So this is anything spiritual. This is meditation. This is connection to the earth. What else do I have here? Okay, this is networking, speaking. And I also put this in green because I believe anytime I'm networking and speaking, I'm making money, right? It is an income producing activity. I just dropped one on the ground, but it said feature. Okay, here's one, paid workshop, right? Paid workshop. So yesterday I hosted a paid workshop. It was a vision board workshop. Let's see what else I have. This one, client calls. And then this one, of course, super important, personal. So this may be self-care, it may be personal time, it may be taking a weekend with my husband. But doing this and blocking off those calendars, when you see it visually, you're then going to see what I say I want, what's in my vision. Is it physically represented in my calendar, right? Like Lucy, I know you're writing a book, so you would block off time for writing. And then you could look at your calendar and you'd say, great, I'm writing for 10 hours each week, or I'm writing for 20 hours each week, whatever it is. But that is a way for you to see if what you're envisioning, what your vision is playing out in your reality. And it's a really big, like if you want to just reflect back upon maybe December or the first week of January, you can reflect back upon what you've been doing. It's not to be shameful. It's not to beat yourself up. It's just to simply say, like, very objectively, oh, interesting. I've been watching a lot of Netflix, right? And there's been times where I just had to cancel Netflix. And I've set a boundary for myself. I don't watch Netflix during the week. I watch it on the weekend, and I allow myself to watch, 5 or 6 episodes. I might spend a couple hours watching it, but I set a boundary because of my vision of service and of growing my business and connecting with all of you, that I don't watch TV during the week. Not to say that you have to do that, but you might notice maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe that's something you want to switch out with, getting an Audible membership and listening to books or reading books instead of watching the Netflix. Okay? All right. So that is number 1. Number 2, those of you guys who have worked with me, you hear me bring this up all the time. And this came from my coaches. This is called a loop list. So the essence of the loop list is anything that is left undone drains our energy. So, like, for example, I can even think of right now, there's like this, there's like this check that I owe. There's something that I owe for my business, or like there was like a bill, it was like $120. And I have it on my loop list, but it's in the bottom of my purse or like my work bag. And I'm like, okay, what was that? I still need to pay it. So I'm always thinking energetically like, okay, I still need to pay that. I still have my Christmas decorations up. So that's on my loop list. All of these things that are left undone drain our energy. And what it does is it reaffirms our same self, right? Our self right now who doesn't have what we want. So you want to tap into the energy of, okay, if I am Conqueror Karen, what is already done? What does she already have done? Is the dry cleaning already done? Is the laundry already done? Does she outsource the laundry? Right? Because it's not always about doing it all yourself, but it might be, hey, it's time to get my kids involved to help with these chores in the house because I have a vision for growing my business, or I have a vision for serving or speaking in this way. So the loop list is this. It is simply writing down everything that is undone in your current reality. And the reason we're calling it a loop is because it's an open loop, which every day you wake up and you think about, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to fix that, right? And like, for example, I have a light that needs changed above my laundry. I'm going to do it today. Now, here's how you do it. I write my loop list just on this is kind of one of my my cheapy notebooks. So I don't stress out about how cute I write it, or I don't make it any type of thing. I just write everything. I don't even categorize it, because our brain, and here's another way, especially those of you who are artistic. So I think Kaylee, you would like this as well. Our brain doesn't work in lists, actually. What our brain works in is a map. So I want you to actually draw a sun, right? Like this. And in the center, you can write loop list, or you can write, like, I like to write like magic manifestations. Because instead of it being a list or a to-do list or things we have to do, I like to think, whenever I clear up energy from stuff that doesn't matter, like this dang light bulb, like paying that one bill, now I can focus on my vision. Now I can focus on my mission. Now I can serve and I can be creative energy when I'm not thinking about those things I have to do. So I believe every time I do something off my loop list, it makes me money. It opens up energy for me to manifest something else coming into my life. Oh, I want to check the comments here on Instagram. Powerhouse DFAB. Oh, I love that, Kaylee. Lucy says, great idea. Kaylee says, we took all of our TVs down for 90 days. The kids ended up loving it and wanted to do it annually. That's awesome. A loop list makes more sense. Yeah, cool. Okay. Holly says, this is my current, oh my God, I just did this. I didn't have a name for it. Oh, synchronicity. Yeah. And typically you want to have like a running loop list. You know, it's not like a to-do list. So what I'm saying is, I think a to-do list can get like overwhelming and we're like, oh my gosh, this is just things that like right now need to get done. They don't need to get done today. So here is how you tackle things on a loop list. Oh, and let me finish this. So what you can do, this might be easier for your brain, is you just write all around the circle, like, okay, laundry, dishes, that bill, and you can just write them all around here. And oftentimes I'll do this on a whiteboard as well. What I don't do, because it can slow down the process of the brain dump, is I used to try to do like business. Here are the things I need to do for business. Personal, here's the things I need to do for personal. Like household, here's the things I need to clean. That actually kind of is disruptive for the flow of the brain. Just dump everything out in order. So you're like laundry, vacuum, oh, that one bill, oh, wash the car, oh, wash the dog. Just let it all flow out and then you can organize it later. All right. So here are a couple of steps. Here's what I do. My commitment is one thing off of my loop list every week. Here's what we tend to do. I work with a lot of high achievers, a lot of perfectionists. And what we tend to do is try to do one thing a day or try to do 3 things a day off of our list. My commitment is one thing off the list. And then if I do extra, I'm bonusing, right? I'm getting extra bonus points. So the way that I like to do this is schedule in the thing that you've put off the longest, the thing that feels like the hardest, schedule it in, right? With your highlighter loop list. So maybe you have every Saturday morning, you're going to do one thing off of your loop list and you've scheduled 2 hours there, right? It doesn't mean, let's say your storage unit needs cleaned out, which mine does. It doesn't mean schedule 8 hours or 10 hours to try to do it all at once. It means schedule 2 hours for the next 4 weeks so that you're breaking up in bite-sized bits and you're committing to completing, throwing out some things in the storage unit, organizing this, organizing that, and you're doing it over time. Okay? All right, good. Holly says, so happy to learn this properly. Yes. Awesome. Okay, good. A loop list makes more sense. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. So tell me this, you guys, as we are about to finish up this call here, tell me what you really loved from today's training. Tell me what you're committing to. You might have one thing on your loop list that you know you're committing to. Tell me if you have a planner, if you're planning on using that. But I want to hold you accountable, especially since this is a challenge and especially since there's a prize involved. Type in the chat what you're committed to. And then remember, I'm going to give away a daily prize today. And I'm going to give away the grand prize on Monday. All of this will be announced in the community on Facebook, and it'll be announced on the email list. So make sure you're on my list. All right. So typing in the chat, I'm going to wait a little bit because I know there's a delay. Awesome. Jody said this is fantastic. Makes it so simple. Awesome. Awesome. Julie says I have to watch the replay because I was late, but I needed your energy today. Beautiful, Julie. I'm glad you're here. Yes, and the replay will be available for you on all platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and inside of my Facebook group, Powerful Potential. All right. So as you guys are typing in, let me recap how you take part in this challenge. Remember, you're here today watching live or you're watching the replay and you hashtag replay so that I know you were here. I'm giving away a daily prize today and I'll let you know how to participate in that. But in order to be eligible for the grand prize, you must be registered for this challenge by going to CamiKennedy.com/links. And you must make a daily post. Today is day 3, so you're going to do hashtag day 3, hashtag recreate you challenge, and tag me at Cami Kennedy on Facebook or Instagram. And all your call to action is for your post is something that you took away that can inspire and encourage others, right? This stuff is meant to be shared. When we're all doing the work, when we're all showing up on our potential, the world becomes a better place. So share something that somebody else can implement. Okay. Okay. We have Holly saying, committing to the planner priority separation. Beautiful. And it's fun to go get highlighters. Maybe go to Target and get some highlighters. Jody's going to utilize a planner. Jody says, first thing on the loop list, clean up my desk for better organization. Yes. And when we clean things up, especially around finances, around money, around our workspace, that brings in more energy, opens up more energy to create more abundance and bring more opportunities in. Julie says, a great way to make your daily to-dos manageable. Yes. And Julie, just to revisit, because I know you came on late, this is not a to-do list, right? This is a magic manifestation list, or it's a loop list. And what I mean by this is when you believe that when you do one thing off of your energy draining list, it's going to create an opportunity for something else in your life, then it's not a to-do, then you're excited to do it. Do the first thing, the hardest thing, the big monkey on your back, the one that's draining your energy, the one you've been putting off for years, maybe, do it first. I promise you something will happen in your life. Something will manifest. Somebody will give you money. Somebody will give you an opportunity. Some kind of partnership will come up when you commit and actually start completing these big things on your loop list. Okay, Lucy says, showing up in my energy plus my new name. Ooh, all of it was great. Good. Kaylee says, I'm the opposite of a perfectionist. As an artist, I'm disorganized and typically messy. My challenge for myself is organization that will be best for life. And I can't see the rest of it, Kaylee. I'm with you, Kaylee. You can be an artist and you can be in the energy of creation, which is like things are always moving around and that feels comfortable. I want you to check in with the value, with the commitment of organization. And this may just be me, Kaylee, but I'm the same. Like I'm looking around my room right now and there's clothes everywhere. So I need to get on the clothing situation and the laundry situation. But I find when I try to make myself be organized, I rebel. And I'm like, I'm not organized. And then it reminds me that I'm not organized. So what I do is just take directions and steps into good enough energy, into like, okay, this is pretty organized or this is good. I don't like to use the word organization. I'll use the word, one of my values is disimplicity. So how can I be disciplined and create the most simple ways? And then that way it's like, okay, it's not necessarily organization because I don't know that I'm ever going to be like one of those home organizer people with everything labeled, but I can be energetically more aligned with the way that I place things in my home. So that's going to be my commitment and that may be helpful for you. Okay, cool. And then Kaylee says, when I did the meditation yesterday, the image I had in my mind was clean and everything in its place, open, airy, and light. So good. And so for you, Kaylee, I would recommend a purging. That's actually what I'm doing too. I'm a collector of things and items and stuff, and I'm cleaning out my storage unit. So that's my commitment, you guys, is cleaning out my storage unit of things that once felt good to me, once brought me joy, but now I don't really have necessity for anymore. Okay, good. Yes, simplicity is a great word for what I'm feeling. Good. I'm glad you found one, Kaylee. All right. Julie says, loving that. Okay, Joan says, I'm committed to living in the potential of my future self and not from past or present experiences. I will be starting a planner. Amazing. Jody says, second, creating a beautiful space for me to work and move forward in my new business. Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. And then Joan says, thank you for putting this information and training out there. Oh, we'll be coming back to you 100-fold. Oh, thank you, Joan. I believe that too. And thank you for your affirmations today. All right. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm giving away a daily prize today in this live session. So those of you who are live, go ahead and comment below with the word conquer. Write it as many times as you'd like. I know there's a delay, so I'm going to keep teaching for a little bit, but you're going to write it as many times as you'd like, and then I'm going to choose a winner from the comments below. Okay. And as you guys know, I'm giving over $3,000 worth of prizes, and there's going to be a grand prize that will be included tomorrow. But today, what I'm giving is a custom one-on-one 10-year vision call with me. So this is a 90-minute call where we take everything you learned over these past 3 days, but we're going to dial in, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process of creating a 10-year vision. So not only are you going to have 2021, you're going to have your 3-year, you're going to have your 5-year, and you're going to have your 10-year, which should scare you, which should be so big, which should be like, oh my gosh, I have the house, I have the relationship, I have the car, I have it all. And that's what we're going to create together. We're going to co-create that together. And that is going to be free for you. That is over a $300 value. If you were going to get on the phone with me on a one-on-one fashion, you'd be paying me $300. So I'm gifting this to you because of the energy that you've been showing up in. I've seen a lot of you the whole way through this challenge, which I love. That means you're committed. You're committed to creating that vision. You're committed to building your belief, and you're committed to conquering that plan. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a bunch of comments coming in on Facebook, and I see a few coming in on Instagram. I think Instagram's a little bit slower. All right. So I'm going to randomly scroll here. This is fun. So today I'm giving away 10-year vision, and okay, this is coming up on Facebook user, and I believe this is Joan. So Joan, I believe you are the Facebook user. That's who I tapped on. Joan, you're going to send me a message to redeem that. You're going to send me a message to redeem that 90-minute customized 10-year vision workshop that we work on one-on-one together. So I'm only giving out one today, guys. I'm not going to do one on Instagram today, but I know that you who are participating with me on Instagram, you're still eligible for the grand prize for tomorrow. So today, congrats, Joan. Yes. Send me a message for that. Make sure you're registered and make sure you complete out today's challenge by doing hashtag day 3, talking about your key learnings, or even better, show a picture of your planner, show a picture of you doing something from your loop list, show a picture of you actually committing to being in the energy of conquering and showing up and taking the action today. Okay. And I want to remind you, anybody who wants to come into this 8-week program, Create, Believe, Conquer, where we dive deep into this, today is the last day to receive $200 off. And I forgot to tell you, you also get a bonus one-on-one call with me. So if this is resonating with you, if you know that you are ready to step into your potential for real and show up and put your money where your mouth is, and you really want to change your life over these next 8 weeks, then follow your gut, follow the uncomfortable. I have payment plans for you, so don't let that stop you. Go in and register for the Create, Believe, Conquer by going to my website, CamiKennedy.com/links. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow when I make my special announcement of the grand prize, and make sure you're on the email list because that grand prize winner will come through on the email as well. I look forward to seeing all the things that you're doing today. I love you all. You are all absolutely amazing and beautiful and wonderful right as you are right now. I look forward to helping you practice your potential. Have a beautiful Sunday. Bye.